Good morning. Welcome to Just for Today, a time of eclectic reading, sharing of perspectives, meditation, and prayer. I'm Reverend Rafe Ellis, Senior Minister and Spiritual Leader of the newly joined Centers for Spiritual Living Communities of Greater Baltimore and Columbia. Today is October 22nd. Happy birthday to my beloved wife, Deborah. So this morning I am reading from a Toltec wisdom book, The Voice of Knowledge by Don Miguel Ruiz with Janet Mills. That's what it looks like. And I opened it up to page 196, and my eyes landed on the middle paragraph. It took many years for me to win the conflict between the truth and what is not the truth because our lies are so seductive. The temptation to believe in lies is very strong, but the car accident pushed me to another point of reference. And yes, now I know that there is another reality right here and right now, and it is more than the reality of light and sound that we normally perceive. There are many realities that exist, but we only perceive the reality where we focus our attention. Now, I don't recall what the story was about the car accident, and I don't think it matters because we all have experiences in our life that gave us a glimpse of something beyond this physical realm. It reminds me of that idiom that there are no atheists in a foxhole. Right? When things really traumatic happen, there is this thing inside of us, and maybe it's conditioned thinking too. I don't know. I'm not going to pretend to have all the answers. On a good day, I have an answer to a situation. And I've experienced those moments where there is a certainty because it's born of experience of something that is beyond this physical realm. I think that's what Science of Mind Declaration of Principles refers to as a direct communication, a direct experience. And it really comes down to WTF? Where's the focus? Because I can only experience what I allow myself to experience. And the challenge of confronting our beliefs and being willing to confront them, not are they the truth, but are they truth? And I say that because this notion that there is the truth perhaps limits us from an experience that there just might be more than one truth. And it's the examination, it's the journey where our growth happens. I was watching a video this morning that someone sent me that reminds us that the universe is mechanical. It doesn't care, right? The activity of law, that's how we talk about it in Science of Mind, doesn't care what we give it. It just simply responds to it. And so what we're experiencing in our life is a constant reflection of thought. And I think it jams us up a little bit when we slip into the lie of separation that there's your thought and my thought. Because while we are individualized expressions and we do have an individualized experience of thought, all thought is in one mind. So there's one mind, one activity of law, one creation, multiplicity, but never separate. And when we begin to really lean into that, my experience is I can't help but question what I've been taught. And I think it's really in the questioning where we grow. Because that's the first crack, the first opening for something new, for a different clarity. And let's just tell the truth, that's challenging because the brain, that little amygdala, that brain stem back there, is looking for certainty. It's looking for limitations in order to establish a human experience of safety. And what if safety is one of the lies that trip us up? What if there's no threat spiritually? It doesn't mean there aren't threats in this physical realm. There are. Stepping out in front of a car is probably not a good idea. And spiritually, we're never at risk. And so when we can discern between the limitations of the lie and the expansion of spiritual truth, we get to grow. We get to experience something different, something new. That's what this reading sparks in me this morning. So I'm going to read that one more time and invite us to just take that into our 5-minute meditation practice from a place of listening. Not listening for anything specific because that's trying to script it, but just to listen to whatever comes and be present with that. It took many years for me to win the conflict between the truth and what is not the truth, because our lies are so seductive. The temptation to believe in lies is very strong, but the car accident pushed me to another point of reference. And yes, now I know that there is another reality right here and right now. And it is more than the reality of light and sound that we normally perceive. There are many realities that exist, but we only perceive the reality where we focus our attention. So, what a joy it is to recognize that there is only one consciousness, one mind, absolute reality, nameless, changeless, infinite possibility, continuously expanding its expressions of itself in the multiplicity of form that I call creation. One love, one life, one peace, one power, everywhere present. No circumference, no edges, no limits. And so its very center must be everywhere present. Everywhere. No spot where it is not. Whether we call it God, the great mystery, spirit, the divine, the infinite, it is that and so much more. It is beyond what my human brain can conceive. And I am a portal of it. I am a center of it. I am a place where it expresses the fullness of all that it is. And so I open to a new experience of this one power, this one presence, consciousness itself, infinite intelligence, a love beyond what I understand in this human body that love can be and is. I open to an experience of the allness of creation as me. And I open to an experience of the allness of creation as everyone and everything. I open to an experience of relationship with the one self. That it becomes personal, not as I anthropomorphize it, but as I recognize the self, as I recognize what I am. Because as I recognize what I am in form, I must recognize the oneness of that, which demands that I recognize all life as that. No separation. And all judgment falls away. And I focus and I refocus again and again, remembering the truth of being. And as I do, I experience the truth of being. I experience the power of choice as unlimited, free of guilt and shame, free of blame, free of finger pointing, free of any power, any struggle for power over. I experience the wholeness, the magnificence of the harmonious operation of one. No conflict, no controversy. I simply experience the infinite. Everything, everywhere, all the time. That is what's available. So I choose that this day. I choose to see love everywhere I look. I choose to see infinite life everywhere I look. I choose to remember infinite possibility exists all the time. empowering my choices to see what I'm not seeing so that I can see what my heart desires to see, so that I can be what the core of me knows itself to be. I am that thou art which I am. And I am grateful. I am grateful for the mechanical activity of law that has no opinion, that has no agenda, that simply responds to what it is given and makes it so. And it is from this celebration that I define my faith. To know before I know, to see before I see. To act as if it is true. And so, knowing it is complete, I let go. I let go of all the doubt. I let go of all the fear. I let go of all the lies that restrict my experience of the divinity that I am and that all life is. I let go of anything and everything that would in any way restrict my full experience and expression of the wholeness of this incredible life. I let it all go. Ashe. Shalom. Aho. Amin. Amen. And so it is. Namaste.